Hello, and welcome to the newest episode of the Drive Home Podcast. Today is a special episode because tomorrow is Thanksgiving in the United States. I know not many people celebrate it necessarily, and there's weirdness around it just because of the whole, we kind of killed a bunch of Native Americans at some point, which sucks, and that's a whole thing, but I'm not really, I don't know. It means nothing just saying this, but I have Native American blood in me somewhere down the road. My great-grandmother was one, I believe. At least that's what I was told. So, but, I don't know. It's a thing, and it happened a long time ago, but I don't know. I mean, I guess from what the stories say, people came together on Thanksgiving from Native Americans and the colonists, so, I don't know. Anyway, today is a special episode. It'll be a 0.5 episode because it's specific. And also it's going up along with, or a little bit after, the episode that you guys will get. This is different for me because this is, I'm going to upload it on Thanksgiving. So, it's different for me anyway. But anyway, let's drive this podcast home. I don't know. So just to get the small talk out of the way, I worked 6 hours today and had a pretty okay day. There was food to be had that was given by the place that I work at. Not necessarily given, but there was some food stuffs that we got for free in the break room, which was nice. I didn't really care for much of it, but there was some pulled pork, so I had some of that. But anyway, so the way this episode's going to be is I'm going to talk a bit about Thanksgiving, and then probably towards the end, I'm going to say a couple things I'm thankful for. Just because, saying what I'm thankful for in front of actual people that might know exactly what I'm talking about, no one likes that. Let's be honest. There aren't too many people who like just being honest about that kind of thing. So you try and make it, overtly funny, or it gets really awkward, and it's just, whatever. Whoever goes first really sets the tone, and it is what it is. But anyway, let's actually get into this. So, Thanksgiving for me is very strange, and I think I talked about this a bit at certain other points, but generally speaking, I don't care for bird meat. If you just cook a turkey or chicken or whatever, I don't eat that many bird meats. I don't like it all that much. Now, there is a difference between certain things. So, generally speaking, I like smoked bird meats. My dad made smoked turkey once, and that really actually got me to eat turkey. And I was like, whoa, I like this. This never happened before. And then I like fried chicken, basically. So basically anything that basically covers up or changes the flavor of the meat itself. So in a way you could say I quite literally don't like bird meat. Anyway. So this and other things make Thanksgiving really hard for me. One, I have mother and father divorced when I was 4, which I've gone over, so we celebrate separately. So it basically means 2 meals, which to one extent is cool because more food, I guess. The other extent, it sucks because, well, one, don't eat too much food, or you get full of the first meal and you can't eat the second one, or just because I am super picky when it comes to Thanksgiving dinner, like specifically, that it becomes a chore to like have Thanksgiving dinner, almost. Like, just not counting dessert, which I like pies, generally speaking, there's 2 things I don't hate that are normally served at Thanksgiving dinner. This is rolls, like bread, just like bread, and you're supposed to put butter in it, or on it, or whatever. And then cranberry sauce, which is almost like a specific thing for Thanksgiving, or other colder season events. I don't know. And that's not counting desserts, because I like pies and stuff, and usually there's pie at Thanksgiving, but like, just the dinner part has always been hard for me. And now that I'm an adult, and I have been for a couple of years now, the actual adults, people who are like over their 30s, don't generally make me eat what I don't like. They're kind of just like, yeah, well, he doesn't like it, and you're an adult now, you can pick out your own food to eat. And so I just generally don't eat a lot, which in one sense is good, because I don't have to worry about like overeating or anything, but at the same time it makes me feel bad because I don't like stuffing. I don't really care for vegetables all that much, and green beans kind of falls into that, I think. I don't remember what else they have at I guess mashed potatoes. I don't care for mashed potatoes. I used to like mashed potatoes, now I don't care for them. I don't like them. Is what I should say. I don't care for them is really specific, and I don't remember if it's more specifically like I could eat them or I could not, or I don't like them at all, and I just want to be like, I want to make sure you understand what I'm saying when I say that I don't like potatoes. Different places probably celebrate Thanksgiving differently, but generally there's always a turkey or some type of bird, I guess. I don't know. But, so, I guess, so now that I'm an adult, it's a lot easier, just because, but I feel bad. When I was younger, they would basically put stuff on my plate for me and then force me to eat it. So I felt less bad back then. But, it is what it is. So when I was younger, it was a lot harder, which is sort of how I was phrasing it, because that has been my majority experience with Thanksgiving, is basically having food put in front of me, being told to eat it, and then I can ask for specific extra things. But now it's basically, people know what I like and don't like, especially with Thanksgiving food, so they don't normally, every year I'll get offered, hey, you want to try some, hey, you sure you don't want turkey? And I'm just like, yeah, no, I don't, but they don't force it upon me or anything, which is nice anymore. And it's mostly my mother that would force it upon me. She's crazy into fitness and eating right and all that, and I get it. I don't eat super healthy. I wish I did, but I really don't. And it's really important that you do, honestly. And I should, and I try, but I am doing terribly. It doesn't help that just overall I'm not I don't have a lot of money right now to spend on anything, so like a lot of this is just like I need to buy something, and this is cheaper and relatively easier, and it's quicker, and it doesn't cost as much, you know. But that stuff tends to not be as healthy. Like at Walmart, they have these. Well, like this is just like a quick dinner thing for me. But like at Walmart, there are they have these like Great Value brand or something, like cinnamon French toast sticks. And I used to, well, my grandmother used to actually make them, I think, or something, for me and my brother when we were younger. Wait, no, not, is it French toast sticks? Well, I don't know. It's like cinnamon toast sticks. I don't know. It's like, you know, if you take a slice of bread, you make it into like fluffy. Yeah, I guess it would be cinnamon French toast sticks. I guess. I don't know. Anyway, they're like cinnamon flavored, and you put them in the microwave for like a minute. I don't know how my grandmother made them, but she was one for cooking, so you know she could have actually made. I don't remember. Anyway, like I'd buy that stuff and then I'd make it, and it would be what I ate. You know, like I'd eat like 4 of those for dinner. It costs like $3.50 at least at my Walmart. And you could probably get like 4 to 6 meals out of it, depending on how many you ate per meal. I think I've basically counted, and they usually have like 24 in one box. And so just like, you know, 4 to 5 per like dinner, I guess, is usually how many I eat. It's not healthy. It's basically like cinnamon sugar with like French toast, and you keep it in the freezer. It's not that healthy, but it's what I do. But I digress. That's not really related to what I was talking about. It was a side tangent. But well, I guess I'm making good time today. This is not good for the podcast, so I guess I'll just go to what I'm thankful for. So, this is kind of hard, honestly. It's always hard because I don't want to sound too sincere for some reason, because it's not something I normally do. But I think just like from remembering stuff that I've talked about before, and in retrospect, and from hearing other people's stories, I'm really thankful for my family. Like, I've still got 2 grandparents, and I'm an adult, right? Like, I don't know, and like my family's been pretty good to me. Like, I wasn't really like abused or anything, I don't think. If I was, I've mentally blocked that, and I don't remember it at all. But I don't think I do that, so. And my family's generally pretty good. Like, my mother's always very strict. But my dad was more laid back. My aunt took me and my brother to do fun things a lot. I never really hung out too much with either of my uncles, one on each side, but they do their own thing, so it's whatever. It's always fun hanging out with my family, I guess. I mean, relatively recently, in the past couple of years, since I've basically become an adult, it's become a bit harder to enjoy that stuff because it's just politics. And like, while sometimes I don't mind talking about politics, it just kind of like happens every time. It's a huge thing, and I'm really annoyed I basically got dragged into it because Donald Trump wanted to become president back in like 2016. It's like, okay, fine. Well, I think it was more or less Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton that basically caused it. It was just like old guy versus lady. People's opinions on her were negative, and I don't really understand why. But I mean, she didn't win. I don't know. I wouldn't have voted even if I could vote back then anyway. Like, people don't like certain people for a reason. Especially when it comes to, like, presidency stuff. It could have just been because she was, like, on the opposite side or whatever, but I have no idea. And I don't plan on, like, looking into it. It seems weird to do that. But generally, you know, anyway, I digress again. Long story short, I really appreciate my family. They're good and they're nice, and they've always been there. Well, they're not necessarily nice per se, but they have my best interest at heart, I think, is the best way to describe that. And that was only one thing, and, you know, like, I backed it up with factual reasoning. Well, somewhat factual. I have no idea how facts technically count when you're talking about stuff like this, but, you know, like, it's not just something I'm saying. I am quite thankful to that. And I don't know, I'm gonna include some more, like, personal, that was, like, personal, but this next stuff is just stuff I kind of care about and I'm happy about, I guess. Like, I'm thankful that Nintendo is still doing pretty well for itself. Like, I didn't expect them to ever, like, go out of business or anything, but I like Nintendo stuff and the companies they kind of work with, and like, more specifically, like, Xenoblade Chronicles X is getting a definitive edition, which I know isn't specifically Nintendo, it's Monolith Soft, but they're sort of like, you know, it's a Nintendo sort of, like, Xenoblade's Chronicles games have only come out on Nintendo products, from what I remember, so it sort of kind of goes hand in hand. And then Fantasy Life I, the girl who stole time, is coming out as well next year. And I'm really excited about both of those, because those are both games I played when I was still in, like, school that I really enjoyed. Nintendo has a music app now. I love that. Like, a lot of the stuff that, like, I know a lot of people have issues with Nintendo, just, like, the way they, like, kind of don't listen to their fans, and how, like, how their legal team will kind of, like, go after, like, small things as well. But, you know, I think it shows that they care to some extent. But also, you know, this, like, I don't think we have any right to, like, argue, because I'd say, just spitballing, a good, like, 95% of Nintendo games are, like, hits instead of misses. Like, yeah, there are still those games that miss that are, like, basically, like, made by or, like, known to be of a Nintendo franchise. I can't think of any specific examples other than, like, Super Mario 2, which is technically Doki Doki Panic or something. Whatever it was called. I don't know, I just remember, I was listening to Brental Floss earlier, and I remember that was being brought up in one of their songs. I don't know. And I think I want to see if I can get through one more thing. So, I'm thankful. I really should have thought these through better. The first one was kind of a given, but well, I guess this is a bit different, but it's a bit the same. I'm thankful for my friends. They're really good people, and they include me in stuff. You know? Like, You don't necessarily have to, or anything, but a lot of the time, I don't know. Having friends has always been sort of weird and different for me, just because I moved when I was young, so making friends became harder, and I had one friend for a couple of years, and then he couldn't be friends. Well, he stopped being friends with me, and the whole thing ensued. But we're on good terms now. I mean, we don't talk to each other nearly at all because I think he like moved temporarily or got homeschooled. Um, and we just kind of dropped off on being friends, and I made new friends. So I honestly like him. Like if he hadn't like gotten homeschooled or stopped going to school or whatever it is that he had done, um, which I won't get into because I like the guy. He's a cool guy. And just because the way we stopped hanging out was kind of bad, I don't want to trash talk him. He's a great guy. Anyway, long story short, he's a good friend, and him not being credited to me helped me make new friends. So I'm grateful for that. Anyway, thank you all for listening to this episode of the Drive Home Podcast. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't, you don't. And for those of you who live in America, or I think Canada has their own Thanksgiving thing. I'm not sure. Anyway, if you're celebrating Thanksgiving or if you're not, I hope you have a great next 24 hours. And goodbye.